Thinking about getting a snake but not entirely sure if it's right for you? Well, in today's video, I'm going to help you guys on making that decision. My name is Nick Pulaski. Ever since I was young, I've had two passions, wildlife and filmmaking. My goal is to combine those two passions to make wildlife content. My passion for wildlife and my collection of exotic species is constantly growing. Come follow along as I pursue my goals of educating, inspiring, exploring, and conserving wildlife, all while having fun, seeing the beauty of our natural world. So with owning any animal, there's going to be pros and cons. Whether it be a dog, a cat, a fish, or even a reptile like a snake here, there's going to be pros and cons. But with that being said, I'm going to go through pros and cons that I have, in my personal opinion, of keeping a pet snake and letting you guys be the judge of if it's right for you. I've had snakes basically all my life, in an assortment of different kinds, and with that has come experience. So with all that being said, let's go over the pros of having a pet snake. So the first pro I want to go over is snakes can be therapeutic. Now you might be wondering, how can they be therapeutic? So for example, with my stunning black pastel albino ball python female here, she's not moving too fast or anything like that, and that can be stress relieving to some, as well as lower their anxiety. Just having something in their hands, just kind of moving around. There's actually places opening up where you can actually have a therapy session with a snake, where you basically just go and you handle them, and that to me is pretty cool. Snakes are hypoallergenic pets, which means they make great pets for people who have allergies because they don't have any fur or feathers. Instead, what they have are scales. Alright, here, listen closely. So did you hear anything? Because I didn't, and that's because snakes make great quiet pets. So generally speaking, you only have to feed certain species of snakes once a week or every other week. Some snakes are actually known to fast, like ball pythons. They can go months without eating. So you also can bear that in mind too, but you don't also want to let your snake starve and go malnourished. But there are certain species of snakes that will be happy if they got a meal once every month. Snakes are pretty easy to maintain, provided that you set up their enclosure properly and you do cage cleanings as needed. And if you're in an area that has harsh winters like I do, you don't have to worry about taking a snake out to go to the bathroom. As well as you don't have to worry about rushing home from work or school to tend to your snake. Snakes are pretty independent animals. So snakes come in a wide assortment of different colors and sizes. So right here, this is my baby Woma python, and I'm expecting her to live a very long time, and that's common for snakes. They actually do live 20 plus years on average, which is great because you're going to have a slithering companion for a very long time. Okay, so we went over pros of having snakes, now let's go over cons. So let's get this one out of the way. Snakes do have the capability to bite, as do a lot of things. But if you go in handling a snake properly and confidently, your chances of being bit are a lot less than if you're handling the snake improperly. Usually when a snake goes to the bathroom, it smells absolutely awful. But if you're keeping up with your enclosure maintenance, that's not going to be a problem. No matter if you're feeding live or frozen thawed, you're still feeding off a prey item, and to some, that could be unsettling. As well as if you have to possibly store the food. For example, if you have to store frozen thawed rodents. Some people don't want rodents in their freezer, or they don't want to look at rodents in their freezer. So a tip I have for that if you're tight on space is something that I did when I was growing up, and that's putting them in a bag of some sorts so they're out of sight. So a snake is not going to show you love and affection like a dog or a cat would. Now I do believe that they are aware that we, the owners, are not a threat to them, after of course handling and building trust with the animal. But you're still not going to have that connection like you would with, say, a dog or a cat or some other animal that would get excited to see you. Simply put, some people are afraid of snakes. Like you could be living with someone that's afraid of a snake, or you have friends that are afraid of snakes, whatever the case may be. And the fear of snakes, or anything for that matter, can come from a multitude of different things. Whether it be from the media, a traumatic experience, or a negative upbringing, those things can play a role in a view of a snake, or anything else. But with that being said, don't let that discourage you from getting a snake, because there's still a possible solution with that. And that solution is educating the people around you about them. More specifically, the species that you want to get. Not only could it help you possibly get a snake, but it could also help them get over their fear as well. And in both those situations, everyone wins. And And the last con that I want to add to this list is that snakes aren't really great at holding still for pictures and videos. So yeah, just be warned for that. If you're trying to post videos and photos on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all those things, you're gonna be there a while. Your talent will not sit still whatsoever. But that's okay, it's good that they're curious and want to explore. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments if you guys know any other pros or cons that you guys wanted to add to the list. And again, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you could do me a couple of favors and like the video and subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And until next time, I will see you guys soon.